Hello, 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 everyone. It is Stevie Aisha Mills, and we are back for another conversation with another phenomenal person. You know this is the show all about the why behind the what of what people do, and today I am absolutely honored. I am excited. I am blessed, excited, and thankful. That's what I call the real BET. And we have a dynamic guest that I had the pleasure of meeting, singing with, that she sang her beautiful song, and more. So Tammy Turner is a soul-stirring singer, songwriter, playwright, producer, and actress. She is an international performer who dreamt of singing all her life. Tammy has graced the stage nationally and internationally and with some of the most respected talents in the industry. She was a featured vocalist from BET's Sunday Best, opened for Vickie Winans, Kirk Whalum, and other well-known vocalists, and she has stood on the stage with such guests as Kim Burrell, the Clark Sisters, Bebe Winans, and more. She has performed at the Kennedy Center, the Meyerhoff, the Strathmore, and the legendary Apollo Theater. Tammy loves working with singers and speakers on vocal health and stage presence. She feels that music can change the world. Tammy, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you, Stevie. I appreciate you allowing me into the conversation, girl.
You are so very welcome. Oh, my goodness. It was so amazing to meet you because the first thing that I noticed when you walked in the room was your beautiful gold dress. And I am an Aggie from North Carolina A&T, and our colors are blue and gold, so I always have my eyes out for gold. And ever since we first connected, you have just been a beautiful, bright spot. And
Uh-oh, Stevie, you went out for a second. You still there, love? Stevie, can you still hear me? All right, guys. I think Stevie may have gotten cut off for just a second. Anyway, as she said, until she calls me back or dials back in, as she said, I'm Tammy Turner, and I've been singing for as long, I always say I've been singing for as long as I've been breathing. I believe I was in my mother's womb singing, and it's just something I absolutely love. I really believe that the voice can set a person free. I really, really believe that. One of the things that I love doing is I love helping people to discover the freedom and the power of their unique voice. I love that. That's one of my all-time passions. And it hasn't always been that way. It hasn't been that way always. There was a time when I would not open my mouth, when I would not sing a note, because we have things that we go through that try to quiet us. And so I was silent for many, many years. But here's one thing that I do know. I do know that your gift will open doors for you. And this is not something that I think. It is something that I know. See, I didn't know early on that singing would open doors for me, but I've been there, and now I know. And just like I didn't know at one time what my gift was, there are many of you right now listening out there who you don't know what your gift is. But just like my gift opened doors for me, once I finally figured out what it was, your gift will open doors for you when we work together. That's why I love working with people in general, but especially I love working with women. And here's the good news. Here's the great news, as a matter of fact. When I'm working with someone, the thing I do is my goal is to help you identify your gifts and then watch those gifts, watch you kind of bust out of this box that society tried to put you in, and watch your gifts open doors for you. And you may be questioning, well, really, do I have gifts? I had that same question. I questioned myself the same way, and here's what I found out. Not only do I have them, but you have them too. And I am committed to helping 10,000 women find their gifts. And when we do that, you're going to use them to open these doors. I'm so excited about that. Let's see if we can get Stevie back on.
I'm here, and I love the fact that you just – I am. Girl, I was just listening to you, and I said she better preach and teach all at the same time, because the thing that I know for sure is what you said, and it was so profound and powerful that we kind of speak the same language. I call that gift that je ne sais quoi, that vada va boom, that's in each and every one of us. I call that your it factor. And so I know, it factor is definitely a Hollywood term, an entertainment term, and that's what we're all looking for. But for me, God gave it to me to say that your it factor is your God-given gift. And so, yes, when you know your it factor, you stand into it fully, then you can have what you have created. And that is so true. So many people of us who are in the world have never experienced complete freedom because of the fact that they do not know their totality. They don't know how to dig out these gifts and bring them to life. And the beautiful thing about that is that, your gift is indeed something. You have a beautiful voice, but the thing that's even deeper than that is what you're speaking about and how you can show other people, no matter if they have a gift of singing, dancing, poetry, or anything that's connected to the arts or not, but it's still about bringing that to light and shining a light on that. So, yes, ma'am, I was just soaking it in because I love this talk. I love this amazing thing. And I feel like, a lot of people sometimes they see the end result. They see, the beautiful accolades that we just read about you, but they don't know the story that got into the accolades. And so that is truly what it is. The fact that you said you didn't want to sing, that you stifled your own voice, you didn't know that was your gift. Like, that's profound and powerful. And I think that seeing you in person, just sing from your heart and sing from your soul and sing from your spirit and stir up a room and just truly take it to God, like, I believe that is truly rocking your it factor, because that at that moment it goes beyond the accolades and it goes to what your gift is.
That's right. And sometimes, you know what, Stevie, it's really hard for people to exercise their gift. I mean, I posted something on my wall yesterday, where on my Facebook wall, I met Tammy Turner Sing for anyone who wants to visit me on Facebook, and I just at one point I would not open my mouth, and the thing about it is that every amazing experience, all those experiences that you just read that I've had, because all of these good things, they're just experiences that we have along our journey. They have all been preceded with me opening my mouth and allowing my voice the freedom of expression. So let me just give you some backstory, okay? Because somebody is saying, Stevie, she is just talking too good. There's no way. As a matter of fact, I had a lady from my church call me a couple of weeks ago, and she wanted coaching, because I coach vocal coaching, but also coaching on stage presence and confidence while you're on the stage. And just real quick, I'll just throw this in for anybody who wants to know, for anyone who wants to contact me, questions, inquiries, or, just anything, they can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook at Tammy Turner Sings, or they can just reach out to me at 410-600-3433. That's 410-600-3433. So now that I have plugged that in,
I love it.
I just want to share with you that sometimes the hardest thing that it is for us to do is just exercise the power that we have. It's hard for some of us not to shrink back and be the background, be the background singer. No, God wants you to come to the forefront and be a lead singer in whatever your industry is. Just like you said, Stevie, it may be poetry, it may be dance, it may be sing. If it's sing, I want you to call me. But it may be speaking. There could be a myriad of gifts that are locked away on the inside of you. And here's the thing. For years, I did not use my voice. But did that mean that it wasn't there? No, it was always there. But it took the courage that I had to unlock it. And I'll just share this story with you real quick. One day, when I was about 8 years old, I used to follow my mother around. My mother was a singer, and she sang with amazing people. And so I was always at somebody's church singing out loud. She was always in somebody's group. We were always at choir rehearsal. And one day, while the choir was rehearsing, they had this beautiful 3-part harmony, that everyone was doing. And the soprano sounded beautiful, and the alto sounded amazing, and then tenor came in. I mean, I don't know what it was at that point, Stevie. Now, I always sang in the house, or, when you be playing church, how when you go to church and then you come home, you play church with your cousins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, I had done that, but I had never, ever gotten in the choir stand and attempted to open my mouth. But for some reason, I just started singing out loud. I just started singing out loud. And I remember the joy of that expression, of just being able to sing. But what happened was that the choir director looked down at me and said to me, "You need to be quiet." And I said, okay. And I was 8 years old, so when you're young, everything goes in you. It's almost like a sponge when you're young. That's why you have to be careful what you say around your children and what you do. It goes into you like a sponge. And so I was quiet. I was quiet for a while. And Stevie, I don't know what it was. I still don't know. Pray for me. I still don't know. I opened up my mouth again. And I just started singing. And I remember him, he suddenly hushed the choir. He looked down at me, and he said to my 8-year-old, probably 60-pound frame, "You need to shut up because it doesn't sound good." Now, I know some of us out there who have children. Just imagine your child being told to shut up, that young, that vulnerable. I immediately began to cry. I burst out into tears. Even now, I'm thinking about it, and the same feelings overwhelm me even now. And I felt something drop in me. Maybe it was my spirit. Maybe it was my confidence. I don't know what it was. But it dropped. And, of course, the ladies in the choir, they fussed him out good, honey. I mean, Lord, I can't tell you some of the stuff they said because we was at the church, but they fussed him out good. But even though they had fussed him out, Stevie, the words that he had said were already etched in time. And it would take me a while after that to find my voice again. It would take me a while after that to find my voice and even be confident enough to open my mouth. Just even confident enough to open my mouth, because after that I just would not. I just wouldn't do it. So I don't know if you want to interject here, or I can keep going. It's up to you. I don't want to be the only one talking, but
no, it's really good because it's confirmation. God gave me earlier this year a new mandate over my life, and it's so amazing that we're having this conversation. So I'm just in awe of God's greatness. But it is truly I help women to find the courage and confidence to sign the permission slips of their ideal lives.
Yes,
and so this whole conversation that we're having, like it's just a affirmation, confirmation, beautiful thing. So I'm just getting listening ears on because I'm like, okay, God, I know. Like, it's almost like seeing the end result of your work because I know that's what I'm called to help women do, and you're on the other side of that. So there is a purpose for that, and it's just a beautiful thing. And I just think, how you were just saying about your mother, and I just think about how we were together. Your son, who is amazing, oh my God, it's just the mantle has come down, and I get that. So it's just a beautiful thing, and I believe that this conversation today is truly to help, like, even more women by just having you pour. Sometimes there are times where you have a and B conversation, right? This person talks, that person talks. But then there are other times when you have on your listening ears for the conversation, and it's a conversation where somebody is talking, but you're also talking to God in the midst of what you're hearing. So in this conversation, no, you won't hear me interject a lot, but it's a conversation going on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate that, Stevie. You are so amazing, and you're such an awesome light. I haven't met very many people like you, but I guess I couldn't because I know that you're set apart. But I see you bouncing around, kind of, God's little light, just bouncing all these different places and creating the shine in the world that you want other women to see. Because even looking at your joy, I know that it's the joy that you want others to experience as well. So I'm really encouraged. I'm encouraged by that. But I know that we as women, we just go through so much, and we focus so much on our past, and we focus so much on what we've gone through. And for some of us, those things are traumatic. Childhood experiences, from someone just talking to you any kind of way and saying things to you that don't bring life to you, to even violations. Women, we really, really go through, and it causes us to, sometimes it causes our heart to harden a little bit. And so, God will send these amazing people, messengers like you, like myself, like so many even of your listeners to help soften that hardness, that people form in their heart. So with that, again, let me just give again, if anybody wants to reach out to me, they can reach me at 410-600-3433. Again, 410-600-3433. So now getting back to the story. So here I am, 8 years old. I was told to shut up and stop singing. And that, along with other past hurts and limiting beliefs, it left a stain so big, Stevie, that it covered the gift. It covered who I was. It covered it. And Stevie, how a bad stain will ruin a shirt. It'll ruin a blouse.
Mhm. Mhm.
Stevie?
I'm here. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I'm sorry. Your conference line kind of broke up a little bit, and it took me to another line. So I'm back. But yeah, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
No, you were talking about the stain.
Yes. So I was saying that it was so big that it had covered the gift that was in me. It covered who I was. And I made the phenomenal mistake of believing the definition that someone else had put on me and had given me until I was a teenager, pretty much. I never really participated in too much when I was in school until one day one of my favorite teachers, Mrs. Moore, she encouraged me to enter it was a junior sorority pageant. And, Lord, I did not want to do it, but she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and she just kept encouraging me. And so, scared to death, felt like my knees were knocking, teeth chattering. I was just so scared. You know, I decided to do it. I remember walking in. I felt intimidated. I felt a fear. I felt all of that. And it was worse because I felt like, man, I don't have a talent. You know, all of these other girls are here. They're young girls. They're beautiful. They all have talent. And I didn't have one. I didn't have a gift. So one day I asked the director if you needed a talent to win. And the answer was no. Woo! Easy. Girl, I was relieved. I'm telling you, I breathed a sigh of thankfulness. I was so happy until I looked up, and my cousin, who was in the pageant with me, looking at me, I saw her looking at me with a confusing blank stare. And, you know, I'm checking myself. I'm looking at me. I'm like, what is this? Some of my teeth? Or do I have an unwanted visitor on my nose somewhere? What? Why are you looking at me like that, you know? And so she widens, like her eyes go real big. She tilts her chin down, and she says, Tammy, you do have a talent. And I'm standing there. I'm telling you, it's almost like standing outside of yourself, looking at yourself like you're watching yourself, but you're not in your own body. I'm like, well, what? Well, now I'm standing there with a blank look on my face. I took my chin down, you know, trying to mock her, and I say, well, what is it? And she says, rather loudly, like she was totally annoyed, Tammy, you sing, and you sing quite beautifully, and you sing all the time. I looked up and I said, I do? To which she basically kind of sucks her teeth, shakes her head, and she just walks away. And she goes to another corner. But can you just say, Stevie, can you say stain remover for me? Can you say that for me?
Stain remover.
Hey, girl, my cousin's words were like shout. You know the shouts up
wow.
and down the store.
Mm-hmm.
It took out the stain. It took the stain out, and I at that moment, I got the gift of my voice back.
Wow. Because
when she said you sing all the time, my mind was so blocked by what I had experienced, I didn't even remember. I didn't even notice I'm singing all the time. I'm sure everybody around me noticed it, but I didn't notice it. I didn't even notice it, you know, and it took the stain out. I got my voice back. And see, that is why I love, you know, working with women. And I don't have to share my, you know, entire story on this one, because I know and you know, once we get to talk, we can keep on going. Because, you know, there were other times where I lost it again because of life circumstances. And then God had to bring me back to a crossroads and say, okay, which way are you going to choose? What are you going to do? You know, and then that left me in a position where I had to choose the gift that he had put in me. And all of those things, Stevie, again, all that stuff that you read off, I have to sit back sometime and kind of ponder, because it all stems from me, from that day, talking to the director, having my cousin come up quite annoyed with me, and just like there were words that blocked my voice, like they say, sticks and stones, they break your bones, but words will never hurt. That's the biggest lie. It's a lie. I'm telling you, they do hurt. Words do hurt. And just like it took words to put that shackle on me and that muzzle to keep me from being all that I could be, it took my cousin's words to free me and unchain me and help me to open my eyes to my own self. It's like looking in the mirror and finally being able to see you being able to see your beauty, not somebody else's, yours, being able to see what kind of a phenomenon you are, because you are indeed a phenomenon. You were made by God. He is infinite intelligence. He is creator. He is master. All of it. You look. If you were made by power, God doesn't just have power. He is the power. He is the thing. You can't be made by power and not have any. You got to have some. My son, that you referred to earlier, who I actually have here with me. If you want to say hi to him a little bit later, he's here. But I couldn't have this child without having a little bit of me in him. He's got to have something of me in him. It's going to be evident to some degree that this is my child. Now, let me say, people say all my kids look like their daddy. I okay, fine, I get that. But he has some of my DNA, and so that's got to show itself strong in him. And so, so what you alluded to earlier, that's what you saw. You saw a little bit of that earlier. Now he's still forming who he is and coming up with the definition of who he is. But I just say that to say again, we cannot be made by this amazing God who is power, who is truth, who is love, and not have that inherently on the inside of us. And I love working with women especially to discover the freedom and the power of their uniquely gifted voice, because we are leaders of this coming future, ladies. I don't know how many I got out there, but we are the leaders of this coming economy, of the families, of business. There are more women in leadership positions in business now than ever before, Stevie. More than ever before. So it's going to be our responsibility to be equipped with what it is that we need to help us get to our next level, and whatever that is for each individual person. For example, I work with speakers on vocal health and maintenance. Making sure, because when you speak, it's really sometimes it can be quite hard on the vocal cords depending upon how you speak. Some people speak in their heads all the time, and so they don't utilize their chest, the power of that voice down there. And so what we want to do is we want to marry those two voices, so that when you show up in the world, however you're showing up in the boardroom, if you're showing up for presentations, if you're showing up as a speaker, if you're showing up as a singer, then you're showing up with your most powerful, unique voice.
Wow. Wow, this is awesome. I'm like, yeah, you can't give it all today because we will be back. I know that we will see you and hear you again, because I was like, she is my sister in my head. That's what I kept saying the whole conference. This woman is my sister in my head, and I just adore you. It's just something magnetic about you. And then to see your son and to see how he approached the microphone at the event and just came from an amazing place. And then he goes, I'm like, I love these people. These are my people. And so it is a beautiful thing to see it. It was a beautiful thing to hear the manifestation and, to understand the why, truly behind the what of what you do, and to understand that, yes, you have had this prolific career that you are still making happen and still doing amazing things, but imagine if you would have just stayed in that stuck place. Like, imagine that. The world would have missed out on so much, and you would have missed out on so much. So I'm just grateful to have heard that story. I'm excited. As soon as I bought the CDs, I went back to where my family was. It's like, y'all got to hear this. Like, I don't know what else y'all know right now, but y'all got this, because my dad is a musician, so I understand the fact of what it is to be a musician. I understand what it is to utilize your gift and to, you know, take it to the next level. And I understand even with the vocal, like he's having some vocal issues now. He's aging, that some of his vocal cords, the world is saying, because we know God is a healer, but they're saying that's paralyzed. So I just, like, this is real prolific for me to hear. This is not, you know, something that I don't understand well. This is my life. So I get, even though I don't sing, I get this. I understand this, and I appreciate it because, you know, it is one thing to be on stages with people who you all, because my dad has been with Singing Police. He's been with Mike Phillips. He's been with a whole litany of people just like yourself. And he actually was in the band with Betty Davis. It was a band called Funkhouse. So he was like history of music, and your history of music. So I get that. But as a person who is not musically talented, it still is about the story of utilizing your voice to change the world as a speaker, as a coach, as a CEO, as a teacher, as a preacher, whatever you do. We all have these voices, and we cannot allow ourselves or anyone else to stifle our voices, because what happens is the world misses out on such greatness. So we do have to keep rocking our it factors. We do have to keep showing up. We do have to keep utilizing our gifts and giving them back to the gifter. And so when that happens, you know, the world changes and dynamic things can come out that is truly bigger than the words that we speak and the songs that we sing. It's truly about what you're saying, the presence of that, and being in God's presence and understanding that this is truly what we've been equipped and called and empowered to do. And so, yes, you haven't heard me talk a lot today because I am soaking in so that the other women can soak in as well, because we have to give ourselves and each other those permission slip pieces, and we would have never known, you know, as statuesque and beautiful and this voice that comes from the heavens and changes the atmosphere, we wouldn't have known the backstory. And for me, that is truly the important part of this show, because we want to know that. We applaud everybody's accolades who comes here, but I need to know the why, because there may be somebody who's contemplating suicide.
That's right.
Lord, how can I get this done? And when they see somebody who's done such a great thing and a remarkable thing who has come out on the other side, we need to know, yes, I do understand, because I was right there with you too. So as we begin to wrap up, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna piggyback on something that you said a little earlier. And the great thing about being able to open up and utilize your gift is that when the gift giver can entrust you with the gift, they can now entrust you with the expansion of the gift. And I don't know if many people realize that. So, and what I mean by that is, so I started out, once I finally started singing, here I am. I see myself on these shows, and I'm singing with these people, and that's great. But then God begins to speak to me individually and go, okay, now that I know that I can trust you to open your mouth, now I have another gift. I want to expand on the gift that I'm giving you. And so then he opened me up to songwriting, because that's really kind of how we saw each other. Stevie, at Playtime Is Over, Cheryl Wood's event, I wrote the anthem. I wrote that anthem for her event. And I wrote that, when I wrote that anthem, I had spoken to Cheryl before, but it was just, a lot of it was from my understanding what it's like to be a woman, what it's like to have dreams and not realize them, what it's like to be in business and then feel alone. I realized that. And so if I had never opened my mouth, like you said earlier, and I'm telling you, when you said that, I almost wanted to cry, because if I had never opened my mouth, I would have never met you. I would have never gotten the gift of that. I would have never received that. And I don't take that lightly, and that's not a small thing. You have tremendous value, as does each of your listeners. And it's important to remember that and to have people in your life, have a tribe in your life where they can speak that into you. They can speak that into you. So I'm really excited. I'll tell you what, for anyone who wants a copy of the CD, they can just I'm at Tammy at TammyTurner.com, but you can send $10 or $15 for the CD and the lyrics through PayPal, and at PayPal I'm at Tammy Turner Music, and they could so anybody can get a copy of it. I want people to be able to get a copy of it, specifically women. The song is called "Playtime Is Over." It's the national anthem for Sherwood's annual event, Playtime Is Over, and some of the words are in the chorus. It says that we are standing bolder. So, Stevie, what you're doing right now through this podcast, what's happening I have a radio interview that I'll be in the studio tonight singing. What we're doing is we're teaching women and showing them how to show up in their genius in a bolder way. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. That means that we're not alone. We're not doing it alone. You have women that will come and stand alongside you and encourage you and hold up your arms when you get tired, when you feel like you can't make it anymore. You need that person to kind of come along beside you. Some of the words, all I need is inside of me. Everything they need is already inside of them. You'll determine you're going to reach whatever that place is, whatever that destiny is for you. Do you want to build a legacy for your children? Wouldn't it be amazing to build a legacy for your children, to rewrite your story? I love when Cheryl said, when we're old, when you get, 95, 96, although I still plan on singing and walking around and dancing at 96. When you get to 96, you can sit around and tell stories to your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren or your great-great-grandchildren. But it's our job now while we're young, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 even for some people, 70 even, to make the stories juicy so that they want to keep passing them on. They're like, oh, did you hear about what Grandma did? Oh, my gosh, my grandma was on the Apollo. Gladys was on the Apollo. The Temptations was on the Apollo. And my grandma was on it. Now is the time to make those stories juicy. When you sitting around at 96, Stevie, your great-great-grandkids, I bet y'all didn't know my grandmama had her own podcast. Yes, she did. She did interviews for all kind of famous and amazing people. We're supposed to now make them juicy. But the only way we do that is if we discover, again, the power and the freedom of our uniquely gifted voice, our blueprint. So, again, if anyone wants a CD, they can send $10 for the CD alone or $15 for the CD and lyrics through PayPal. And my link for PayPal is Tammy Turner Music. So, and I think I'll go ahead and give out also the number again for 410-600-3433. For any of your listeners, Stevie, this is specifically for you. For any of your listeners who are singers, maybe they're aspiring speakers, aspiring singers, and they want to take vocal lessons, I will, if they indicate that to me when I talk to them, they'll receive 20% off of vocal lessons.
Awesome stuff. Yeah. So the Conversation with Stevie listeners, you know how to get your percentage off. And I can tell you, like, if I was a singer, I would definitely want to be with the pros, right? And so this wonderful woman of God is amazing. You all need that CD. You all need those empowering words to be filling your rooms and filling your cars and filling your offices.
Yes.
You need that, because I just enjoy every time they play the anthem. Every time that I heard that, I was like, yes. And that's most of the reason why I probably feel like I could walk on sunshine and fill the whole world with my joy, because I listened to it, and I listened to it at least 3 more times that night when I went home. And so it's just a beautiful thing to understand that, yes, this is what's happening now, and this wonderful woman has gifted you, like, with the opportunity to work with her. That's amazing. That's dynamic. She has a beautiful heart, a beautiful spirit, and a beautiful gift that we are so excited she has allowed us to even hear, right? Even hear, and she has brought that to the conversation. And Tammy, before we leave, I want to make sure that you give any words that you have to just, you're like, Stevie, we cannot leave the conversation today without people knowing this, and then also recap your information, your contact information.
Well, one of my favorite quotes is, "Unleash the champion in you today." And that is a quote by Tammy Turner. That's my quote. Unleash the champion in you today. You know, before I end, Stevie, though, I want you to hear this amazing. My son has a quote that look, girl, his quotes are better than mine. His quotes are better. I want them to. They are, girl. I'll be like, oh my God, Lord, why didn't I get that one? So I know we got to get off, but I just want him to take a minute to say hello to you, and I want him to read this quote that he made. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kobe Turner. Stevie, is it okay if Kobe says hi to you?
Yes, absolutely.
You know he remembers your little self. Okay, here he is.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So a lot of what my mom was saying about just finding your voice and working through everything that God puts you through for the purpose of living in your greatness and helping others live in their greatness, it really is inspiring. And I write a lot of quotes like she said, but my favorite one is definitely people are uncomfortable with you exceeding the expectations that they've set for your life. So all the energy they direct towards you is bad energy out of fear of your greatness. This
Can
quote
you say that one more time? Let's recap that. That needs to be boomerang back. Go ahead.
All right. It is people are uncomfortable with you exceeding the expectations that they've set for your life. So all the energy they direct towards you is bad energy out of fear of your greatness. Ignore them. That is a quote that I live by, because when you're in high school especially, there's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of people that are going to try to bring you down the road that they're going down because they don't want you to be anything more than they are. And that's why you need to watch who you hang around, and that's why I watch who I hang around. And for us to expand as people, for us to reach the greatness that we need to reach as people, we need to realize who we're hanging around. And sometimes we need to change who we hang around, because you are who you're with. And it's been proven time and time again, you become who you keep around you. So if you keep nonsense around you, if you keep failures around you, it could even be family. If you keep these people around you too much, you start to adopt their customs. You start to adopt their ideals and their ideology and their lifestyles. And it's very important for us to again, make sure we keep greatness around us. If you're the best person in your group, you need to leave that group. So thank you for having me on. Thank you for allowing me to share a little bit of what I believe and what I live by. And I really appreciate you just taking the time out of your day even to interview my mom, because we're building something more than ourselves right now. We appreciate you for coming along the ride and helping us along with it. So thank you once again.
You are very welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are awesome. You are awesome. I actually am having a teen conference in 2018 in March, and I'm like, Lord, let me see how many dollars I can get together to get these phenomenal people here in Virginia. So you might see yourself here in March in Roanoke, Southern Virginia. We'll see how it works out. But definitely, you are awesome. You are amazing, and I definitely appreciate you being a young man of color, just riding the reins of greatness. Like, this is amazing. You hear a lot of times about mother and daughter teams, because me and my mom work together very closely in my business, but you don't really see that mother and son, and that's amazing to me, and I want to applaud you and your mom for the greatness that is you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I would love to be there in March, definitely. I don't think I have anything that I'm doing anyway. So.
We're gonna figure that out, Stevie. We'll see what we can put together. He loves working with teens, and you're so awesome. So I know that the event is going to be awesome. And I don't know how much time we have. I don't want to take up too much, but you had asked me to just end with something, and I think that the thing that I want to end with is to remind everyone the same reminder that I have to give myself daily, and that is that all we have is today. That's really all we have. And sometimes, some days we have different days than today. I remember at one time I had someday I'll go out there and, maybe take the world by storm and maybe reach people. Well, someday. Or at one time I had one day. Well, one day I'm going to get up from this couch and I'm going to walk in the freedom of who I am one of these days. And I even made the mistake of putting tomorrow, or one day or someday kind of as my mantra. But if you've ever been to, I don't know, Stevie, have you ever eaten at Joe's Crab Shack?
I have, yes.
Well, have you ever seen, they have a sign up there that says free crabs tomorrow. Have you ever seen that sign?
Yeah.
Free crabs tomorrow, right? The problem is that when you come back the next day, it still says what?
Tomorrow.
Exactly. Free crabs tomorrow. And so the problem is that tomorrow never comes. All we have is today. And so my message to you is that I want to help you to unleash the champion that you have in you, discovering the freedom and the power of your unique voice. Don't say, oh, I don't have a voice. Let me figure that out. Call me for a 20-minute consultation free, and we will figure out what that voice is, or if you don't have one at all. But don't be the qualifier. Don't be the qualifier for that. Let a coach, let them coach you on to greatness. I always say, Michael Jordan he was an amazing player. He's one of the legends. But he still had a coach. He had someone who believed in him and maybe even pushed him harder than he would have pushed himself, or saw more potential in what could be accomplished than he could accomplish on his own. So, again, for those who want to contact me, they can contact me on Instagram or Facebook at Tammy Turner Sings, and that's with an S, TammyTurnersings, Tammy Turner Sings, or they can contact me directly for bookings or inquiries, because I do a lot of events. I do a lot of weddings. Oh, my gosh. I do a lot of that. They can simply just reach out to me directly at 410-600-3433. So 410-600-3433. And that's me. Thank you,
awesome.
Stevie. Look, I've rhymed. I've made up a rhyme.
Yes. Thank you. You guys were I am excited to see what is next. I hope that you all know I'm the type of person, once you come in my life and I love you, then I love you for real. It is not this is not going to be the last conversation we have. So thank you both for just being here and for gracing us with your wonderful words, your wisdom, your just amazing It factor. It has indeed shifted people to just know that they can, and if somebody has told them some words that are crazy, that they can change the narrative of their lives. Yes. And really simply put, the devil is a liar and the father of lies. And that is the thing. So I am excited about you and your son and just this amazing brand. And yes, everybody, trust me, if you're getting married, that's my desire. One day I'm gonna get married soon, Tammy. I'm gonna have if y'all are getting married, then definitely reach out to her. She will. I know that the spirit that rises on this woman will usher your marriage into the next level. If you need an event singer, if you want your own anthem, then y'all can talk about the numbers behind that. Yeah. But it is truly amazing to know that we have a sister friend in this woman, and I am excited about what the world shall see next. So thank you, everybody. This has been the Conversation with Stevie. I am Stevie Aisha Mills. You can always find me just by knowing how to spell my first name, Stevii. You can find me at Stevie.com, all over social media. And, of course, you can find me here on the Conversation with Stevie. Make it a great day. Do not have a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too, have the power to do so. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.